John here from Ripewave Audio, and today we're going to take a look at the new firmware from Marantz and their new cinema range of receivers and processors that started to launch at the end of 2022 and into 2023, as well as the new Denon models at the same time frame. And got to hand it to Marantz. They said they were going to come out with firmware in March of 2023 that supported DIRAC Live. But when we finally got this, it was more than just a DIRAC Live update. And that's what we're going to focus on today, not the DIRAC part, but the other features that you get with this update. And what we've done at Ripewave Audio is we've disabled automatic updates because what we want to do is see what this looks like when this comes in, and we want to be able to record this rather than having it do the update overnight when we don't get the chance to see this. So this came in on March 22nd, and we looked at it in the morning. The update wasn't available, and then we checked again at the end of the day, and we got this message on the screen when we went into the general firmware section of the menus. We were able to check for the update, and it displayed this information, which was, of course, the DIRAC Live room correction upgradability. Now, as you know, this is a paid upgrade and you have a choice of either between the limited bandwidth and the full bandwidth version of DIRAC, and that you can get from the DIRAC site. But here, look at the other things that they're delivering. In particularly, the play Auro3D through the top front, top rear, and top middle speaker locations. Up until this point, you've only been able to get Auro3D when top heights were configured, and we've had to fake this out. And we did a video on this where we did just that. We configured our top speakers as height speakers mounted high on the wall instead of their real location in the ceiling. And now if you configure them for what they really are, if you're using ceiling speakers, you'll have the ability to do Auro3D. This is great. They also have a couple of other features like a last button within the video select option menu, and a new manual speaker setup layout, and refinished HEOS music playback screens. So we'll take a look at this. So the next thing what we did is we hit the Update Now button. And when you do that, it brings up the screen and says, do you want to enable auto update going forward? And we'll just say no, because again, we would like to be in full control of it here so we can do these videos and record it so you can see what really happens behind the scenes. So then it informs you that the AVR is going to turn off during the update. The AVR will restart when the update is complete. And while updating, devices with HEOS built into your network will stop playing. So this is to be expected. And do you want to continue? And say, yes, we'll do the update. So the next thing that happens, your screen goes black, but you can follow the progress on a little porthole in your Marantz receiver or processor, and follow along there. And there we can see that it's going to take about 15 minutes, and you get that countdown as it's progressing. 10 minutes, 7 minutes, etc. And ultimately, it works its way to 100% completion with 0 minutes remaining. And that little porthole then ultimately displays just like you would be restarting the receiver or processor with the Marantz logo and the Marantz star, and then comes back ultimately for connecting. I was on HEOS last, so I'm not sure if that's the case, but then it does a connecting wait and a assigning wait. And on the screen, you can see the screen come back, and the screen is giving that starting up please wait message on the screen, as well as this message you get on the porthole. And when you're all done, you can go into the menus and see exactly what it's done. And what we did first is we actually made sure this went and did something new by checking the firmware version. So we went into General, and you scroll down, and you don't select firmware. You actually go to Information, and then within Information, the firmware setting. And here we can see the updated version as 6000, 8075, 6031, 8790. So that is the version that matches what I've got here. And then we went in to take a look at these changes that have happened on the speaker menu. And what you notice right away that now DIRAC Live setup appears. But first we went into the speaker layout to see what happened. Now we currently had it configured as top height and rear height speakers for our 2 rows of ceiling speakers to get the Auro3D. And then we said, okay, let's try setting these to top front and to top rear speakers and see if that Auro3D supported format goes away. And it doesn't. We now have Auro3D supported with our top front and top rear speakers, and if you had middle, it would also work. Now the other thing that you'll notice on this, of course, if we go into the DIRAC Live setup here, you're going to have your QR codes to get to the DIRAC Live web pages. So you can do that, and essentially will allow you to download DIRAC Live, get your license, choose whether you want the limited bandwidth or the full bandwidth. And also you'll notice is if you go into the audio section, there'll be Audyssey and DIRAC Live there. Once you've run those will be available. There'll be 2 Audyssey profiles and 3 DIRAC profiles. Now looking into HEOS, now I can't remember, I didn't use HEOS enough to remember what the playback screens look like. Of course you have the tuned in and all that, but particularly wanted to see how Amazon Music comes up and plays. Now we've got the artist, the title, it says Amazon Music, it displays whether it's ultra high definition, the sample rate, bit rate, etc. It all looks good. I don't know how much of this really changed, but it looks decent. And that's, aside from the details on DIRAC Live, that's what you can expect for these changes. I will note that Technodad on his website did a whole video where he lost settings. And what happened was for the Smart Select, and I haven't started to use Smart Select, but it gives you the ability to assign which speaker preset and what volume and other attributes you want quickly aligned up with a certain video and audio source, and it's a one quick button to bring that up. And he said he lost all his speaker distances and all his speaker levels that were assigned with those Smart Select when he did the upgrade and had to reestablish those manually. So the warning is, I can't attest for it myself, but I would protect yourself and record those sessions. Take a picture or write down what all those settings are before doing this upgrade. And look at Technodad's video, and I'll put a link in the description for your convenience. So what do you think of this Marantz upgrade? I think it's great they delivered it on time. And are you excited about this? We are going to be doing another video that will go over the DIRAC Live aspects of it, compare it with Audyssey, and other ways to calibrate your speakers. So stay tuned for that, and put your comments in below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And if you want to take your membership to the next level, we have our Patreon channel. You can always give a one-time donation with the thanks button. And always you can hit that bell notification so you'll be notified when the next video is posted. Until then, keep evolving your audio experience.